So hi guys and welcome to the show today. Today I've got the Audi Q3 with me and I'm going to give you a brief walk around video review. Now what's so new about this car? The new bits is that there's no longer a diesel on sale. It's only going to be sold in petrol and this color looks really nice. The front end is completely different now. Well, it's not completely different, it's got some changes to it, but it looks very familiar. The grille is new, it's more prominent, it's a much bigger grille, and of course if you look at this part, this has also been added, lots of sensors etc around, and of course the front lamps still look as smashing as they've always looked. This part also, these plastic bits are new, and this of course is essentially a new car because the design has been changed, but the silhouette remains more or less the same. That's the side profile for you. It looks bigger in proportion and gives you that Q8 look. It gives you that miniature Q8 look, which a lot of people truly love about this car. What you'll also like is the big and chunky tires, but what I don't like is the look of the alloy wheels. They look really outdated and old for a car which is essentially going to be a brand new car. So I think that's something that Audi should work on, or maybe it's only on this car, there's something else. 235 section tires and R18 wheels, and the back end looks pretty familiar because it's got the same kind of styling that we are now used to seeing on other Audi cars. So that is something which is the only bit which you might say should have been changed, but I think the front end looks smashing. Let's have a quick look at the boot. The boot release is in the corner, it's not in the middle, or it is in the middle. And it's a decent boot, quite nice, and cheaply we've of course kept our camera equipment so you can watch our full in-depth review on the Auto Portal channel and also on other places. A little bit of a sill, but not too much. Flat loading area, that's something pretty good about this car. And as I said, nice places. There's one big bag, two, three, so you can easily load a couple of duffel bags as well. And of course the load cover, powered tailgate, that's something which is good, and that's something which a lot of buyers will also appreciate. Got badging and 40 TFSI because this of course is the only petrol. Sorry, this is only in petrol now and not in diesel. Let's quickly have a look at the interiors and let me get inside and show them to you now. Woodmore are the online expert when it comes to spare parts, and the best point is that they have the spare parts for all vehicles available in India. So even if your car is out of production now, maybe you have a large generation model, even then they have the spare part available. They have the entire catalog, and the best point is that they have the same spare part from a host of different component makers, which gives you great flexibility in the pricing overall. So check them out today. Check out the app. It's available both for iOS as well as Android devices, and also check out the website for the latest schemes as well as offers. Woodmore.com, the expert of online spare parts. So I did move the car in shade so that the interiors were better visible. Now what I like about it is the opening for the door handle is really very unique and looks very cool, and the build quality is also very good. There's the release for the boot. Now let me just lock it. Just hear that one more time. I'll just open it and shut again. Fantastic, just sounds awesome. And in this video I'm not going to show too much of my face because you've already seen that. This is the way the interiors look. I've shut down the engine at the moment. Let me start it for you. And that is how it starts. Doesn't have too much noise. This of course is for the lamps, the automatic lamps. This is for the wipers. This is for the rear lamps and of course AC vents and all. What I really like is the quality, fantastic quality. And what you'll also appreciate is the fact that the center console is slightly, if you can see, slightly tilted towards the driver. So it gives you better sense of engagement with the car, and it definitely gives you a sense of you're sitting inside a cockpit. Fantastic Audi MMI, and even the dials, all the digital gauges look just so nice. Just have a look at them. They look really cool and very sharp indeed, very sharp looking dials. And equipment wise also it's quite a good car. Cruise control, automatic lamps, automatic wipers. You also get this sunroof over here now, so that's also nice addition on this car. And let me just open it for you and show it to you. It gives you a sense of how it is. It doesn't go all the way back, and in fact it does if you press this button. It's over here, the second one, not the first one. And then that's about it. So that's the roof for you. And please guys, don't keep your heads out and don't keep your kids or ask them to move their heads out away, because this is dangerous. This place is not safe at all, and it's not really meant for hanging out of the car. You can do it if you're stationary, but don't do it when you're moving in a car. Just be careful because these are sharp edges all across, and that's something which can hurt and can be lethal in some cases. So be careful about that. Let me just show it for you. Of course, with the sunroof open, lots of light enters the cabin and just gives you a great sense of being in a very airy package. Again, just let me show you the interiors. Quattro badging here because Audi is very proud of their Quattro heritage. And just listen to this click now. Quality is absolutely first rate, and I really like this, that they've kept a button, manual button for the volume rocker. That's something a lot of modern cars are missing out on and something I don't like. Those touch panels aren't that great. This one just feels so nice to use. Once again, let's just hear this. Fantastic quality all across. Just see this touchscreen over here. Quite easy to navigate. Lots of menus, sub-menus, of course. A lot of people will never use them. They'll just put the Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. But yes, you can use a lot of this stuff and do a lot of stuff on it. Quite sharp, very sharp, and minimal lag. So that's also quite good. And this design also. Lots of cuts and lots of creases all across. Remember, the earlier car was starting to look a little boring. This one, no chance. Seat comfort is good. Let me just jump out and show you. Seat comfort is quite good. Let me just turn it off once. And seat comfort is generally good. Seats adjust both, for powered. Seats adjust. The seat adjustment is powered, so that's something pretty good about this car. And the steering will also adjust for rake as well as for reach. Let me just do that with the phone in hand, as well as for reach. So that's something which a lot of customers will enjoy as well. Now let's quickly show you the back seat, because that's the business end for a lot of people. A lot of people don't buy the car for the front end but the back end. And there it is, lots of space, but there's a huge tunnel over here because this is the Quattro system. So there's a huge tunnel, and that's something maybe that it's a bit of a compromise to be there in the middle row, or the middle seat rather, but the kids will be happy because there's plenty of place. And as I showed you, that roof, when it opens up, it really does open up the cabin in terms of lighting. And this beige or light brown or whatever cream color you want to call it really does lighten up the mood inside the cabin. So lots of space inside, no issues of space, good build quality, and lots of features as well. In general, I think Audi's done a good job with this car. The only thing which I didn't like is the look of these alloy wheels. That's something that they need to immediately change because it doesn't look cool. But the interiors definitely are very charming and have a certain wow factor about themselves. Anyways, that's enough of the interiors and the outside looks. Let me now drive this car around and show you what it is to drive like. If you've come to my channel for the first time, please like, share and subscribe. Now, I have already shown you the exteriors of this car. I've shown you the interiors. I've shown you what makes it so special. Now, let me just tell you about the driving bits, because the driving is also something else only on this car. How, if you compare it with some other rivals, maybe from BMW, it's not as sharp to drive. The steering wheel isn't as sharp, I'll be very honest about it. But it's definitely much more comfortable than any other BMW car because the suspension has been tuned more for comfort. Yes, Audi engineers are going on the side of comfort rather than outright handling, because they know their customers very well. They know that the customers in this segment usually sit on the back seat. They prefer their chauffeurs to do the driving bits, and that's why they've tuned the suspension in a very comfortable manner. That's something you'll really enjoy on this car. It's a very, very comfortable car. What you'll also enjoy on this car is the fact that the overall driving dynamics are quite good. Now the steering, as I said, isn't as sharp as maybe on a BMW, but that said, it is good enough. And if you choose the drive select over here, where you can alter the characteristics of the engine, the steering as well as the gearbox, then of course you can choose the dynamic mode where the steering becomes a little heavier, or you can choose the comfort mode where it becomes a little lighter, and even the gearbox and engine become a little more aggressive in that dynamic mode. So you can choose that setting as well if you want a little more performance out of this car. And of course, if you don't want that performance, then you can always put it in comfort mode and drive it around. What I have really enjoyed about it so far, that I've been driving it today, is the creamy engine. It's a very creamy engine, very cool, very refined, just revs all the way up to its red line without any fuss whatsoever. And it's an engine which loves to rev. It's a rev happy engine. Audi say that this engine will do, and this car will do 0 to 100 in just a shade under 8 seconds, and I agree with that. I totally believe them because it's a quick car. It feels very quick, and it's a light car, so it does feel quick and responsive. And not only is the engine creamy, it's also very responsive, ultra responsive. So you've got to be a little careful with your right leg sometimes because if you flex it too much, you never know, you might be doing illegal speeds before you know it, because this car also has the habit of masking its speed really well. It does mask its speed quite well, so that's all something with which you have to be a little careful. Other than that, the ride comfort is good, as I said. Balance between ride and agility is good, and overall, if you're planning to buy your first car, your first luxury, that's a good package because it's compact enough on the inside and the outside, but it's roomy as well. So it's a good package for people who are planning to buy their first ever uh, luxury SUV. And I think it's a very no-nonsense car because the way it looks, the way it drives, the Audi badge gives you peace of mind. They have very good after-sale support, and just in general as a package, as I said, it is a good car. So forget everything else out there. Take a look at this car, especially in this shade of blue. This royal blue looks really cool. I don't know what officially it's called, but I'll call it royal blue because it looks really nice. And just think of it as your solid first investment into some kind of luxury motoring. It really is a special car and a car with which you will never be disappointed. So guys, this was my brief video today. If you have enjoyed it, then give me a double thumbs up. If you haven't enjoyed it, then give me a dislike. And of course, if you want to know more about cars and stuff like that, do keep following me over here on this channel, and do support me on my other channels as well. I'll put the links in the box below. See you guys soon in another video, and we'll catch up sometime soon.